Okay. So when we talk about this course, we'll discuss about what is the meaning of this course and everything before we connect to that point. If you are planning to do this course, you have two options. One, you have a recorded videos. The second option is online classes. So you may be fresher, means you may be very new to this Oracle applications, or you might be having some knowledge or experience on Oracle EBS applications. That could be functional or technical, doesn't matter. You can go with videos. Videos are very much detailed. The videos which you get, those are from previous live classes. We extracted that videos. When you go through these videos, it's like you can feel you are in the class, because in every batch we have many participants, and only the disadvantage is you cannot ask the questions. And you can go through the videos and will share the instance access and you can practice. That's how you can complete this course on fast track. And if you have any questions, I would be available. We can connect through email or phone call. So that's how we can keep in touch, and you can continue with your practice, etc. And if you may subscribe the videos, but still you can attend online classes. Okay, the online classes. Maybe if you take the videos, recorded videos now, you can continue in the current batch. Other side, you will get the videos and you can go ahead with in fast track to complete the course. And anyway, you can attend the regular classes. If not this batch, next batch also you can attend. Or else say you are attending this current batch. Even if you are attending the current batch, if you want, we can share previous batch videos. So you can continue the current batch. Other side, you can go through that previous batch videos and you can start practicing even if you have any questions. Anyway, every day we are going to connect, we can discuss. So these are the two options we have. Okay, anyone can choose this recorded videos. You may be fresher, or you may be having some experience on EBS, or you may be from technical background, or your background may be some other ERP. Whatever it may be, you can go with this videos, or else you can attend the live classes. These are the two options we have. Okay, any questions on this point, please? No questions. Okay, let's talk about the meaning of this Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials. Okay. So Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Applications. The very beginning few classes may be very much known information for the guys who are coming from EBS background. That could be technical or functional. But after a few classes, you will find everything is new and interesting for you also. Maybe very initial 2-3 classes, you may feel you know this stuff already, for sure. Okay, the course name is Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials. And through this course, we are going to learn the applications. Let's look into these terms meaning. The first one is Oracle. Okay, so when you talk about Oracle, what is Oracle? Oracle is database. In other words, Oracle is the company name. Okay, when you look at this individual word, the standalone word Oracle, we have to understand Oracle is nothing but database, or Oracle is one of the company name. So Oracle is the company name. They came into the market with the concept called as database, and they became very successful in the database market. Later, they moved to applications, cloud, etc., and fusion. These are all points we'll discuss. When you talk about what does it mean by Oracle, simply you can say Oracle is a database, or Oracle is one of the company name. So what is the use of database? With the database, what we can do is we can store the data. Okay, we can store the data. It could be any data. That may be purchasing related data, payment related data, sales data, anything you can store in the database. Okay, anything you can store in the database. I don't take much time to talk about it. Let me take simple example. We'll move on to applications and how these applications are connected with the database and what is meaning of Fusion Cloud, etc. Everything will go one by one. So this is the database. Within the database, okay, you can have a tables. If you want to store the sales related data, you can have a sales. To store the sales related information, you can have a table. If you are doing some purchases, to store the purchase related activities data, you can store in the database with the help of table. That means within the database, we'll have a tables. Within the tables, we can store the data. How to store the data in the database? By using SQL language. Okay, by using SQL language. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. By using SQL language, we can store the data in the database. If you want to store the data in the database, we need SQL experts who knows SQL language. They can store the data in the database. You and me cannot store the data in the database if you know the English, just English. So if you know the SQL language, then only you can store the data in the database. So it is very difficult, okay, writing the SQL statements or SQL queries to store the data in the database. Again, we have to hire the SQL experts who can just store the data in the database and who can retrieve the data from database and to perform various operations on the data which is getting stored in the database. So that is the reason what the companies did is, it is very difficult to store the data in the database with the help of SQL language, okay, by writing the SQL queries. That is the reason they developed the forms or say pages. Okay, they developed the pages, or you can call it as the forms. Okay, this is how just they develop some forms or pages. Now maybe this form we can use to store the suppliers data. This form may be invoice data. This form may be for payment purpose. Now suppliers, if you want to store the data in the suppliers, in this form you can enter the suppliers data without writing any SQL queries, and that form will be connected with the relevant table in the database. The supplier page, they connect to the database with a respective table, supplier table. And if you want to create the invoices, if you want to store the invoices in the database, you can use the invoice page. That invoice page will be connected with the relevant invoice related table. The same way, the payments, the payment related page will be connected with the payment related database table. So now if you give the suppliers invoices and payment related page access to any business user, they can enter the data. If they know, if they know English, how to read what they written in that pages, easily they can enter supplier name, supplier address, supplier contact number. When you say invoice, what is invoice amount, when we have to pay, how we have to pay. When you are making the payment, in the payment page, to whom, which supplier we are making the payment, what is the bank account we are using, how much we are paying. All the details they can enter in these pages. These you can call as pages or forms. Okay, pages, web pages or forms. Any user, any employee can enter the data in these pages. The data can be stored in this database. And when we are storing the data in this database, say you want to find out how many invoices created today, or how many suppliers we have, how many payments we processed today or this week or this month. If you want to know that, so whatever the data is available in the database, to fetch the data, we can use the concept called as reports. Here we have to understand three objects. One is database. The other one is, it is difficult to store the data in the database by using the SQL language. That is the reason the alternative and best way of handling the data in the database is pages. You can have pages. Instead of using the SQL language to store the data, you can completely remove that SQL approach. By using these pages, you can store the data in the database. We have a database to store the data, and how we are storing with the help of some pages. When you enter the data in these pages, if you click on save, that will be stored in the database. And whatever the data we have in this database, if you want to see the data, we can use the reports. Now things are simplified. If no pages and no reports, everything you have to deal with SQL only. You have to write the SQL queries to insert the data in the database. And if you want to see the data, again you have to write the SQL queries. Now without writing SQL queries directly, okay, you can use these pages to store the data, and you can use the reports to see the data which is available in the database. Okay, already discussed one point. What does it mean by Oracle? Oracle is a database, or say one of the database company. Now what Oracle company did is, not only Oracle, many other companies also did. We are talking about only Oracle. What Oracle company did is, it's very difficult for the companies to store the data in the database by using the SQL queries. So that is the reason they built some pages and reports. Okay, they built some pages and reports so that by using these pages, they can store the data in the database. By using the reports, they can view the data which is available in the database. This collection of database, the pages and reports, we call as application. Okay, what we are calling database. Okay, sorry. And one more point. I mean, if you are very new to this, if you know already this EBS applications, etc., maybe for 10 more minutes, you will go through very much known information for you. After maybe 10 minutes, we'll talk about cloud, etc. Yep. So database and pages, or you can call as forms, reports. The collection of these three components. Okay, the collection of these three components we call as application. Okay, the collection of these three components. The collection of three components we call as application. So what Oracle did is, in the very initial stages, they developed only database. They started selling this database to companies, and it is little difficult task for any company to store the data in the database using the SQL language or SQL commands or statements. Later they developed the pages and they introduced the reports so that the organization job will become very easy in terms of storing the data in the database. So along with the database, we have a pages and reports. This all together we call as application. Application means the collection of database. Within the database, tables, pages and reports we call as application. Now initially Oracle is owning only database, and later they developed the applications. Okay, so that's the meaning of Oracle and application. Other points we'll discuss more detail level. Any questions here, please? We already discussed about what is the meaning of Oracle. What does it mean by application? And one more important point, what we can take as application. Say for example, you have a tables department in the company. To perform various activities as a payables department, Oracle developed one application. Whatever we do as a part of payables department, to manage the payables department data, separate application Oracle developed. The same way, if you take purchasing application, for purchasing activities, purchasing department, what are the activities purchase department has to perform as per organization process, to manage that complete purchase department related activities, Oracle developed separate application. This is how for each and every department, Oracle developed separate applications. If you take example of payables department, let me write here, say payables department. For payables department, Oracle developed payables application. What is the exact name and all, we'll see very soon. And receivables department, Oracle introduced receivables application. So this is how for each department in the organization, for each department to maintain the data separately and more secured manner, Oracle introduced separate applications. So that only we call as applications. Okay, applications. Oracle means database, application means collection of database, pages and reports we are calling as application. What does it mean by financials application? Okay, let's take this point. What does it mean by financials? So whatever the business activities we do in the company which deals with the money matters, finance related activities are all we call as financials applications. What departments falls under within the financials? Let's look into that. When we talk about financials, we have payables department and receivables department and assets department and cash department and some general department. Okay, these are the departments which works under finance. So for financials, as a part of financials, we have various departments. For each department, Oracle introduced separate applications. Like for payables department, Oracle introduced Oracle, okay, payables application. So in case of Fusion and Cloud, how we call, we'll discuss all those points. For now, simple term is Oracle payables application. Okay, Oracle payables application. The same way for each department, Oracle introduced separate applications. Those are like Oracle receivables department or Oracle receivables application for receivables department, Oracle asset application, Oracle cash application. This we call as cash management application. We'll see more detail level, the naming convention, short names, etc. We'll understand more detail level. This is just for introduction. And Oracle general ledger application. This is all for each and every. There are a few more other sub departments also. Those we will discuss when you get into the course. Those names also will come to know: tax, expense, etc. Now these are the 5 primary departments as a part of financials. Payables department, what are the activities payables department performs? Those you can manage by using the Oracle payables application. Okay, what ideally we do as a part of payables department? It's very simple to understand. Within the payables department, ideally we create invoices, a purchase invoice. Whenever purchasing department purchase something from supplier, that information we have to manage within the payables department, and against that we'll make the payments. Okay, so we have 2 cycles, business cycles. In those cycles we will discuss these points very detailed level. Now just very high level, I'm just introducing this. The payables department, primarily they record the invoices and they'll process the payments. To record the invoices and to process the payments, so Oracle is providing an application called as Oracle payables application. By using Oracle payables application, you can create invoices and you can process the payments and you can generate the reports related to payables department by using this application. The same way for every application, every department you have a separate applications. As a part of receivables department, you will create the sales invoices. Here also invoices, you will record the receipts. As a part of asset department, we will maintain the assets and we will calculate the depreciation. As a part of department, we will maintain the bank accounts and you can just do the bank statement reconciliation, BRS. And as a part of general department, you can prepare the reports. Don't take these are very much detailed, very high level. Once we get into the relevant points, we'll discuss more detail level. So this is a simple point you have to understand when you talk about financials. Any questions? Please go on mute. Please go on mute. Okay, please make sure that you are on mute. If you have any questions, yes, I'll stop and I'll just give you the time to raise your questions. Okay, so this is what we have to understand when you talk about financials. Financials means the applications or say departments, the departments which are going to involve to handle the finance related activities or money related activities For those departments, we have a separate applications from Oracle. Those applications we call as financials applications. So when I talk about payables department, it is dealing with the money, making the payments. When I talk about receivables department, this department is dealing with the receipts. They collect the payment from the customer. When I talk about asset department, yes, there is no cash directly, but there is a liquidity. The assets, the fixed assets, easily we can convert into cash. When you talk about cash department, directly it is dealing with the bank accounts which are owned by company. The general department, what are the activities we are doing related to this department to produce the reports, the financial reports. Ideally, the general department comes into the picture to handle that. As per system, we have separate application. These are 5 primary applications as a part of financials. Already we discussed what is the meaning of application. You take payables application, receivables application, asset application. In every application will have a relevant pages to capture the department specific data. The data will get stored in the database, and to generate the reports, we can use the whatever the data is available in the database. To view the data or to report, we can use the reports. This combination you have to understand. Database, pages, and report, these components we call as application. That application can relate it to any department. Based on the department, we will maintain the relevant data within that application. Now, if you have any questions to understand what is a Oracle and what is the application and what is the financials, please. Any questions from anyone, please?
Hello, Lakshman, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I want to discuss, I want you to throw some light on the modules which are integrated with each other. I mean, how they are integrated with each other.
Rizwan, it's not much clear. It's not much clear. It is okay, but not much clear.
Integration.
And do some.
I'm talking about the modules integration. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Modules integration, yes. That is a connectivity point. Yeah. I'll be covering in the classes. In this stage, we are going to talk about applications only. We have maybe in the next session we'll talk about it, because we'll go in the sequence so that everyone can understand.
Yes. And okay. Now I have second question is, I mean, suppose you want to go for Oracle application as a customer, why should I purchase? Why should I go for Oracle?
Those we'll discuss. Those are some very generic questions. We'll discuss. Let's focus on what we are discussing now. Whatever I explained, if you have any questions, please. If no questions, these sort of questions.
Okay, right. I mean to say that you just want to know whatever you are discussing right now in the class, only related to those questions you want.
Those points, anything else if you want to understand, we'll discuss in the end of the session.
Okay.
Yep. But anyway, most of the things will be covered in the upcoming sessions also.
Thanks from my side. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions from anyone on these points only? Okay. Any other questions? Yes, definitely we'll focus on those, but that we'll see in the end of the session. Whatever the content we are discussing, let's have a questions on that. Any questions on these points, please?
Hey, Lakshman, can you hear me?
Yep. Vishnu, please.
Hey, where can I see the tax section in it?
Yeah, tax, it's not a primary application. In our course also we are going to cover, but ideally these are the departments. Tax is not a department. Okay, that is one of the component when we are dealing with the transaction. So that is the reason I am not highlighting that tax as a separate department. That we are going to cover. See, in payables, when you are creating the transactions, you want to calculate the tax. When you are creating the transaction, the receivables, you want to calculate the tax. Yes, you can do that. For that, we have a separate application. I included in our course curriculum also. Yeah, we'll cover that.
Yeah, Lakshman, this is Anil Kumar.
Yep.
Actually, this is the EBT tax is there, like released well, but here.
Yes, we have in the fusion. We call it as fusion tax. The same.
Okay, but okay. One more doubt, Lakshman. Like this is our purchasing module, means we involved in the P2P setups kind of things. But here we didn't mention in the.
I'll mention that. I am talking about financials, right? It is not part of finance. That is I didn't include.
Actually, implementation part functional consultant involved into that purchase module also.
No. Finance consultant will focus on these finance applications.
Same the way like
No, no, no. One
O2C
second.
process also.
You will understand all those points. You will understand because you may have to wait for few classes, maybe two to three classes. Many questions will be answered. What you should understand, I'll take care of everything. Still, if you have any questions, no issues. We'll
Okay. No
let's
issue.
focus on what we are
Okay,
discussing.
thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, thank you,
Questions
Lakshman.
on these points, please.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the meaning of Oracle. Oracle means database.
Yes,
Application
sir. Company.
combination of pages.
Combination of database pages.
Please go on mute. Yeah. So the combination of database, pages, and reports. And when you talk about financials, the applications which are dealing with the finance related department data, those we call as financials. Now let's talk about what does it mean by fusion. Then we'll go with the term called as cloud so that we can understand what is the meaning of this course. Then we'll just jump into other parts. Okay. Fine. Oracle means database, or you can say company name. Application means combination of these database, pages, and reports. Financial means so dealing with the finance related data or matters. For that we have a different departments. For each department we have an application. The same way, same like financials, we have a many other products also. So we have SCM. Okay, SCM stands for supply chain management. Within the supply chain management, ideally we'll have a departments like inventory department, purchasing department, and say sales department. Very primarily these three departments falls under supply chain, SCM. This is finance. This finance SCM all we call as product families. Okay, product families means it's like set of applications where reality multiple departments which are working as a finance related data process or supply chain data related execution, whatever we call. Financials we call as one product family. The same way SCM, supply chain management, we call as a product family. So as a part of SCM, we have a inventory department, purchasing department, sales department. With respect to that, we have applications also. Those we'll discuss more detail level in the next session. But now this is a simple point. In the same way, we have HCM. HCM stands for Human Capital Management, where we have HR department and payroll department, absence, talent, etc. Few other departments. For each application, each department we have a separate application. The same way we have a PPM. PPM stands for Project Portfolio Management. In the same way we have a CRM. We don't need to understand all this more detail level, not required. Just as introduction, I'm giving these points. Finance, SCM, HCM, PPM, CRM. Okay, procurement, PRC. These all are different product families to handle the relevant business processes, primary process or sub processes. So out of these different product families, one of the product families finance. Now our course related to finance only. So we have SCM, HCM and all. When we are learning the financials, definitely we have to learn basics from the SCM. When you work on the financials, you never work on SCM. But the finance is tightly connected with SCM, supply chain management related business process. That is the reason we should aware of SCM also. That is the reason we are going to cover the inventory, purchasing, sales department related applications, whatever Oracle is providing as a part of finance only. What level of knowledge we require, that will cover it within the SCM. From HCM side, we don't need to touch. It's a completely separate product family. But there are few things which we have to connect when we are working on financials. Yes, those we will cover. So finance, SCM, HCM, PPM, project portfolio management, CRM, customer relationship management, PRC, procurement. These are the different product families. In our course, we are going to learn one of the product family called as financials. Okay, one of the product family called as financials we are going to learn. Now let's talk about what does it mean by fusion. Okay, what is the meaning of fusion? So when I talk about fusion, so Oracle is owning the product called as Oracle EBS. Okay, Oracle EBS. The Oracle EBS product is very famous for financials. Okay, Oracle EBS is very much famous for financials. Within the Oracle EBS, e-business suite, EBS means e-business suite. This is Oracle product. The Oracle EBS, we have a financials, we have many other applications. Say we have HRMS, Human Resource Management System, HRMS, and we have like CRM solution, we have like SCM. Many product families are available as a part of Oracle EBS, which is ERP. What does it mean ERP? As we'll discuss later. As a part of Oracle EBS, which is owned by Oracle company, this is one of the ERP, financials, HRMS, CRM, SCM. There are many other product families are available if any company wants to implement. But out of all these, very famous is financials. From Oracle EBS, e-business suite, okay, financials is very famous. And when I talk about PeopleSoft, this is also another ERP. Okay, different ERP products. What does it mean by ERP? We can discuss now, but it won't make sense. We'll discuss after maybe few classes. You will come to know automatically. Just when you discuss, when you understand few points, you'll come to know what is the meaning of it. We're talking about different ERPs which are available in the market. One is Oracle EBS, Oracle ERP, other one is PeopleSoft. Okay, PeopleSoft. In PeopleSoft also we have various solutions, like we have HCM, okay, say financials, and PRC or say SCM. So this is how various solutions are available as a part of PeopleSoft. But when you talk about PeopleSoft ERP, it's very famous for HCM, Human Capital Management. So equal to HCM, on Oracle EBS also we have HRMS. HRMS is equal to PeopleSoft HCM. But if any client is going to choose, okay, the solution for their HR and payroll solutions, instead of choosing, okay, the solution from Oracle EBS, they always choose from PeopleSoft, because PeopleSoft is very famous and it's a very dynamic product in the market to manage the employees' payrolls and other relevant information. The HCM is very good from PeopleSoft. Okay, and take other application, say JD Edwards. JD Edwards is other ERP. Okay, here again we have a different solutions. We have a financials, say PRC, SCM, etc. Now in the JD Edwards, some part procurement and some part SCM is really good in the market compared to other Oracle EBS and to PeopleSoft also. And we have a product called we have an enterprise application. This you cannot call exactly ERP. So you have a Primavera. This is very famous for PPM, project portfolio management. If any company is going to handle the project for project scheduling and all, this is very famous. The same way we have Hyperion product. Hyperion is very famous for reporting and planning and budgeting also. So very famous. Hyperion is very famous. So this is how there are many ERP. I'm not saying this Primavera and Hyperion are ERPs, not ERPs. Just these are enterprise applications. Primarily this Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and so Siebel. Okay, Siebel. Siebel is very famous for CRM solution. Okay. Now, if any company is going to implement CRM solution, instead of going with this Oracle or PeopleSoft or other, or say SAP, other ERP related CRM, definitely they'll go with the Siebel. Siebel product is very famous for CRM. Of course, in Siebel also we have some other solutions, not required for us now to discuss. So to take the actual point, what we have to understand, what are the information required, I'm just taking here. Now there are few ERP applications here. These are the ERP applications, this 3 and this. These are the other enterprise applications. Now this is how we have many other ERP applications also in the market. If any company is going to implement financials, HCM, SCM, and reporting solution and CRM solution, now the big question is which ERP they have to choose. That's a very big question. Say they need financials. They may take financials from Oracle. They want HCM. They may take from PeopleSoft, since HCM is very famous and it's a good product from PeopleSoft. They may take Hyperion reporting solution from Hyperion, and CRM solution they may take from the Siebel. But if they take the different solutions from the different vendors, ERP vendors or different companies which are there in the market, it would be very difficult to the company to manage all these applications. They need consultants from the each and every ERP. And again, so the finance Oracle cannot interact with the PeopleSoft directly in terms of product, and PeopleSoft cannot interact with the Siebel directly. The Siebel cannot interact with the Hyperion directly. This is how there will be challenges. There is no connectivity between all these ERPs. So if any company is going to use these many applications from the different products, they have to make a connectivity. The connectivity we call as integration. They have to establish the integration where these all applications will talk each other for data flows and for other requirements. That will become big challenge for any company. Okay, that will become big challenge for any company. That is the reason the companies are not interested to choose different solutions from the different ERP applications. Most of the companies will prefer to go with one ERP only if require more than one. So this is the current situation in the market. So what Oracle did is, Oracle already owning they have their own product called as Oracle EBS. Along with that, okay, they acquired many other ERPs. Oracle acquired PeopleSoft, Oracle acquired JD Edwards, Primavera, Hyperion, Siebel. There are many other ERPs also Oracle company acquired. They purchased. After purchasing, what they did is, from which product, which is the best solutions available, they are taken. Say from financials product, they taken from EBS, Oracle EBS, and HCM product they taken from PeopleSoft. And CRM solution they taken from Siebel. And some part of SCM, okay, and PRC procurement they taken from JDA. The reporting solution they taken from Hyperion. Okay, the same way this PPM solution they taken from Primavera. Okay, this is how what are the products Oracle is owning and Oracle acquired, purchased from those products. What is the best solution? Okay, which is very famous in the market that they taken. After taking all this, they build some new product, not from the scratch. By taking the legacy of different products, they build some new product that we are calling as Fusion. Okay, that we are calling as Fusion. The Fusion means the solutions which are available in Fusion, not from one ERP products, those they taken from the different ERPs. Now, if you are going to use the Fusion applications, okay, so financial applications, HCM applications, CRM, SCM, what are the applications we are going to use as a Fusion? Those are from different ERP products where Oracle is having the ownership. So now if any company is going to choose Fusion, yes, for financials they can get the best solution since Oracle already taken finance from EBS. HCM solution, also a very famous solution, is available in the Fusion since they taken that solution from the PeopleSoft. And CRM they taken from Siebel, and JD they taken SCMP procurement, and reporting solution they taken from Hyperion, and the PPM solution from Primavera. Many other applications also they taken from the other very popular products. So that's how they build the application called as Fusion. Okay, within the Fusion as a part of financials, HCM, these all are the different product families. Inside a product families, you can have applications. So these are all applications we call as Fusion applications. Okay, Fusion application. That means that different products, they fused into one place as a one product. That is the reason that we are calling as Fusion. Fusion means a combination of multiple products which are best in the market. So that is the meaning of fusion. Any questions on this point, please? Okay. Any questions from anyone, please?
Hey, Lakshman.
Yep.
If it is a EBS, they don't provide this. Suppose if you have EBS license, it doesn't provide any other applications. The Fusion applications.
You mean to say Fusion applications, right? If client is using EBS, do they provide Fusion applications? Is that your question?
Yes.
You can use, but you cannot. There is no like a solution from Oracle as of now to connect EBS and do Fusion as inbuilt. You have to establish the connectivity. There is separate solution if you are a EBS customer. If you want to produce the reports by using the Fusion Hyperion, okay, reporting, for that we have FHRCS solution. But inbuilt we don't have anything. If your client is going to use, already your client is using EBS, if they want to go with the Fusion, they have to treat EBS as a third-party application and they have to do the re-implementation. There is no upgrade available from Oracle as of now.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions here, please?
Is Fusion is version R13 or it's R12?
I'll discuss about it. Okay, I'll discuss about it. First I'll just finish up this the statement. What does it mean by Oracle Fusion Cloud Financial Application? After that, I'll be covering that. Yeah.
Like Lakshman, this is a totally functionally difference or anything is there?
Okay. So when you talk about financials, okay, we are talking about finance only. Let's focus on that. When you talk about financials, the EBS solution they taken as it is into Fusion. They didn't do any changes, but they did few enhancements. Wherever applicable, they did few enhancements and they added some new functionality. They added some few new features in each and every application. Apart from that, the core solution same as EBS. Only the difference is in EBS you deal with this finance application with the form environment, right? Forms. If you are aware of that already.
Okay.
Forms. But in the Fusion, it's a completely web pages, PDF pages. That's only the difference. The other difference is there are certain things which are adding more value to this Fusion applications like conversions, etc. and all. So in EBS for conversions, we need technical people. In Fusion, functional people can do it. There are many other great advantages for Fusion clients compared to EBS finance clients. Yeah, we'll come to know all those. Those we have to understand in the sequence only. Okay, but the simple point.
Lakshman, actually, the thing is like why we shifted from Java page to this basically web page. Can you like there is a storage.
Java pages only, but ADF technology they are using. Java pages only. The ADF is a little bit advanced and that will support in the web-based environment without, minimize the issues and all. The forms you cannot access through internet, right? Say you want to access something from the mobile, right? That is not easy. Some plugins, etc. you have to install or you have to download something. If it is a web page from any device which is connected with the internet, you can connect. That is the reason everything they converted into web pages. That too, they developed that web pages with ADF technology. Yep. Any other?
Lakshman, you mean to say Fusion application is web-based? No,
completely
no
web.
more.
Completely web.
No more.
100%. No more forms. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Any other questions here, please? What does it mean by Fusion? To understand this. Yeah. Voice is
Raghav,
very low.
I have a question. Right?
Can you be more
So,
clear?
I have a question. Yeah, is it better now?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So, what is middleware? As a fusion middleware, when we say BI
I'll
and
explain that. I'll explain that. That is different. When we discuss, will have a session. One of the topic you are talking about, that is fusion architecture. Talk about fusion architecture. I'll explain what is the middleware, what we have inside of middleware, why Oracle introduced middleware, what we have to understand from middleware, what is the pure technical, what is the basic functional. Those points I'll cover. Yep.
Okay.
We'll discuss in our class. Yeah. Any other?
Hi Lakshman, this is Anil.
Please.
Hello,
Yeah, please go ahead.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
Actually, I little bit confused in actually what is the difference between the form based and web pages like.
Yeah. When we open the application, I'll show you if you want to understand that.
Okay, Lakshman. Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you that. So web-based means very simple. The browser. Okay. We are accessing the Gmail, we are accessing the Facebook. That is a web-based. The Facebook, how they build page,
Okay.
right? Not forms. Of course, you have to see
Oh.
what does it mean by form. Then you can differentiate, right? Well, I'll just
Okay.
do for a simple example. No issues. Yeah. Any other questions here, please?
Yeah, Lakshman, since we are talking about the web pages, as we have shifted from forms to web pages, right?
Correct.
So in the forms, it is much possible that if you want to customize the form, or if you want to personalize the form, there is an option from the Oracle itself that without writing any code or few codes, we can customize our form. Is it possible to do the same in the web pages also?
Yes, possible. That is not, I think you are not referring the customization, personalization might be, right?
Yeah, personalize. I mean,
Yeah, you
that
can do that.
small changes,
You can do
like
that
I want to,
customization
yeah.
as well as personalization. Anything you can do.
Is it possible in the web pages also, right?
Yeah, web pages also you can do that. Okay,
Yeah.
again we have a
Thank
different
you.
options. Again we have a different options. In a few cases you cannot do that. In other cases you can do. Where we can do, where we cannot do. That is the next point we are going to discuss after this.
Yeah. In case of very minute customization, we can do, right?
No,
Not in the functional
no,
area. But
directly
only
I cannot say yes and no. We have a different options. In which option that is possible, in which option that is not possible, we are going to discuss. Maybe after 2
yeah.
minutes.
Oh,
We'll see that.
thanks from my end. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions on this point? What does it mean by fusion? Just what does it mean by fusion? It's nothing but fusion is legacy of multiple ERPs and other enterprise products. Best solution they taken into under one umbrella that we are calling as fusion applications. When we are working on fusion applications, you don't see finance from EBS, HCM from PeopleSoft. Everything you will see as a fusion only. Okay, but this is the background which you have to understand. Okay, that's all about the meaning of fusion. Okay, so far we discussed what does it mean by Oracle and what is the meaning of application, what does it mean by financials. Along with the financials we have other product families, SCM, HCM, etc. And just now we discussed about what does it mean by fusion. So any questions on these points, please? If no questions, we'll discuss about what does it mean by cloud. Then we can come to know the complete meaning of this Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials. Before we proceed with what does it mean by cloud, any questions from anyone on these points, please? Any other questions which are relevant to this course? Yes, we'll discuss after these points. Okay, just whatever we are discussing, the relevant questions, if you have, please. Oracle, Fusion, Finance, Applications. At any term, any questions, whatever we discussed. On those, any questions from anyone, please? No questions. Okay. Now let's proceed with the term called as cloud. We should understand what does it mean by cloud. Without cloud also, how it is possible, what we have to understand, what makes difference. All these points we'll discuss. Cloud. Okay. Right. What does it mean by cloud? Say simple. So ideally, okay, in case of cloud, what companies will do? Now Oracle is one of the cloud computing company. Okay, cloud, the technique of cloud computing. Okay, now Oracle is one of the cloud computing cloud company, because we discussed Oracle acquired different products from the different vendor. From PeopleSoft company, Oracle acquired various products. From JD, it's a separate vendor. They've acquired Primavera, Hyperion, Seawell. These are the different good players in the respective areas in the market. But Oracle acquired most of the ERP products which are available in the market to build ultimate product called as Fusion Applications. Yes, they built. Along with that, Oracle acquired some technologies also. One of the technologies is cloud. Now Oracle is offering these all Fusion applications through cloud technology, cloud platform. What does it mean by the cloud and all? We'll discuss. Now, Oracle is one of the big cloud computing company. Okay, along with that ERP applications, Fusion, Oracle is one of the big cloud computing company. What cloud computing companies will do? Okay, we'll discuss now here. What they'll do is, this, it doesn't take much time. It's a little bit technical, but we should aware since we are going to deal with that. A simple point. What cloud computing companies will do is, they'll have a big servers, big physical servers. They'll have a big servers. By using the big servers, they'll create the virtual servers. Okay, they'll create virtual servers. Let it be these numbers and all, no issues. So they have a big server. By using this big server, they'll create virtual servers. Like, server is only one big server. By using that, say they created 4 servers. Server 1, 2, 4, 6. Doesn't matter what is the number for that. Let's count as these are the 4. They'll create servers like this. Where they can place the big server? Big servers, they have to place, those are the physical servers. They have to place in specific location. They have to place in the specific location. Now what they'll do is, they'll create the virtual servers. Say they have a one client called as A. Okay, client A. So what client A is doing is, client A is doing the business in India, USA, and say in UAE. Okay, these 3 countries, the client A is running the business. Now client A contacted Oracle company, and they're saying we want to use Oracle applications, Oracle Fusion applications. When they contact Oracle client A, Oracle company, Oracle can say, okay, if you need Oracle Fusion applications, please go on mute. If you have any questions, yes, let me just complete this. You can go with your questions. By unmuted. Okay. When client A is going to ask Oracle, they want to use Oracle Fusion applications, Oracle can say 2 options. Yes, you can maintain your own server and you can buy the license from us, and you can install that product in your own server, and you can maintain the DB and other team who will take care of your server, and you can access the server from the different countries to record the business transactions data. That is the one option by default you could see in the market. But in case of cloud computing, what cloud computing companies can do is, instead of saying cloud computing company, let's say what Oracle will do is, if client A is going to contact Oracle for Oracle Fusion applications, they says, you don't worry about the servers, we will provide you the servers. That too, we don't provide the physical servers, we will provide you the virtual servers. Okay, where the virtual servers will be residing? Internet as a source. What they'll do is, say for client A, they will give one virtual server. Client is doing the business in India and USA and UAE. They have their big mission, big server in say US. In US, they have big server. By using that big server, physical server, they can create the virtual servers. The virtual servers means which you cannot touch. By using the big server, they'll create virtual server by using the cloud computing technique. Through cloud computing, they can create through virtualization concept, they can create the virtual servers. And now client is running the business in India, USA, and UAE. Now what Oracle will do is, in whatever the data center they have in India, okay, data center, I'm writing as a DC, data center. Okay, data center, India data center. Okay, here another data center they have say in USA, and another data center they have in UAE. So they will alert this virtual server 1 to client A and then replicate. Okay, they'll keep this virtual server with the full synchronization with their data centers. The same virtual server they'll keep in the client nearest data centers with the full synchronization. If India user is going, please, I'll give you the time if you have any questions. Okay, let me explain these few points, then you can go with your questions. They'll keep these virtual servers with the full synchronization with these data centers which are nearby these countries. If India user is going to connect to that server, system will verify which is the nearest data center for India user. This data center, this data center, this data center, this data center. India user will connect it to this data center. Through this data center, they'll connect to this virtual server. With USA, user is trying to connect to that server, system will verify. That given URL will verify where is user location and which is the nearest data center. It will get connected. UAE user will get connected through UAE data center. That's how user experience will be rich. Otherwise, if you are going to have one server in US, India users all the ways they have to connect to US server. There will be a lot of network issues and the network traffic. Okay, and UAE user also should connect to the server which is located in the USA. Again, the server which client has to maintain, that would be the physical server. But if you go with the cloud, in the cloud computing with the virtualization, the cloud companies can create virtual servers with the virtualization concept. Those they'll keep available for the clients in the nearest data centers. That's how the users can feel the server is always with them, not far away from their location. When they just submit any request to that server, since the server is replicated in the nearest data center, user experience will be very, very rich. And client no need to worry about maintaining the servers, deploying the technical team, DBAs, network administrator, security, etc., etc. Everything will be taken care by Oracle. Okay, they will provide the server with the product what they need. Just client has to pay to Oracle. Okay, they will pay to, we want to use financials, SCM, HCM, etc. And how many users, what is the duration, accordingly client has to pay to Oracle. Rest of everything Oracle will take care of. The virtual servers maintenance, the data centers maintenance, if any server related issues, DBA part, etc. everything they'll take care of. Only client will use that. Say Facebook we have, that's a free for everyone. Just we can create the account and you can use that account, we don't need to pay. So we don't need to worry about where they are maintaining the servers for the Facebook application, or say Facebook, the web application, you don't need to pay anything, it's a free. The similar to that, the client has to pay to Oracle for the applications what they are using, for the number of users and the duration what they are using. If any issues with the server and all, everything will be taken care by Oracle. This we call as cloud or cloud computing. Any questions on? There are a few other points which are really important. We'll discuss. First, let's talk about this point only. What we are discussing. Any questions on this, please?
Yeah, Lakshman. Mr. Lakshman, I want to know that suppose if we go for a database in our premises, like if I'm purchasing the servers,
yeah,
you don't think that it is more secure instead of going for the clouds? I mean, I'm talking about the security of the virtual server, my data security.
Correct.
Will it be shareable to all the people? Because database is not with me. So if it is on the cloud, anybody can see, I mean, who can access via any source. So I'm just talking. We want to know about the security. If the server is in my premises, and if it is not connected to internet, it is much more safe.
Correct. When you
I'm
talk
talking
about server,
yeah,
you
in general,
worry about the security. That's true.
yeah,
In the cloud also, the cloud computing companies are taking care of that security high level metrics. They are following the high level metrics. Nowadays, you can say everything is cloud. Your WhatsApp is
yeah,
cloud. Your Facebook is cloud. Your bank
yeah.
applications are cloud. Even banks. There are many companies. Many banks are using the Oracle Fusion Cloud. That means they are looking at what level of security metrics this cloud computing companies are following. After satisfying with all those, they are proceeding with the cloud.
Yeah, but most of the parameters in some of the they are mentioning that some of the area somehow as a layman, what I think that if my data is in the cloud, my company like a very confidential information. If I'm storing
Correct.
there, I mean about my profits and all that stuff, my balance sheets and everything. As a layman, I'm just concerned that
That's
my
true.
data
I
is
totally
somewhere.
agree with you. That's a well-known information. Yes, that is true. Say you are running the business. You don't believe any
Yeah,
people. As alone, you have to run
exactly.
the business. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't believe the people, how much business you can do, alone. That's how this is. Okay.
Hmm.
So if definitely like see most of the application, enterprise application, ERP, etc., all nowadays cloud. If you are okay with the cloud, okay, go with the cloud and you can take the advantage of cloud.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't believe anything. A lot of your data is very sensitive data. Okay, so go with the
Exactly.
your own server.
Mhm.
Do you think if it is your own server, data will be secured of 100%? You have to give your server access to many people with the belief or some policies, etc. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly my question. How safe my data if I have the server in my own premises, or else if I go for cloud computing, it is safe. So
See,
I
if
think this much, cloud computing is much secure. You mean to say?
yeah. See, if it is your own server, 100% secured. If it is a cloud, I don't say this how it is not secured. It is also secured. Okay. So Oracle or some other cloud computing company will take the responsibility behalf of your own company, team, etc. In your company also you have to deploy the team to take care of it, right? The same way,
Yes, yes,
Oracle side also there will be team who will take care of this virtual servers and all. And you can go with a dedicated server for you if you want. Within the cloud also you can go with the dedicated, or else a different public cloud, etc. We have a different options. But anyway, everything will be in Oracle's hand.
it is a secure line to say
Yeah.
secured.
Correct. It's secured and the cloud also secured. You can take simple example. Banks
Yeah,
are using Oracle Fusion Cloud. Many banks they already started.
yeah.
That is there. Yeah.
But
When you talk about cloud, the first concern is security for any company. That is there.
yeah, because main concern is the security. Who is maintaining my data? Who is controlling my data? Actually, the
Correct.
data is not in my hand.
Now in this
Controlled by
case, you
Oracle
have to
somewhere.
believe Oracle. You have to believe
Yeah,
Oracle. You have to
yeah.
just when you are going to use their servers, whatever you do, that will get stored in their servers only. They are going to manage.
Exactly.
They are going to
My
deal with it.
confidential data will be with them. So it's like a matter of concern for me that my data will be controlled by some other people. It's like
That's
that.
true. That's true in cloud. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Fine. Any other questions?
See, if there, in any data breach, will Oracle be liable, Lakshman?
Yeah, everything. The total responsible, they'll take care of it. Yep. Fine. This is a simple point to understand the cloud, but if any companies use this Oracle Fusion Cloud, what are the different options are available? Let's talk about it. So if you are going to use Oracle Fusion related any applications, it could be financials or SCM, HCM, take any example. Here, Oracle is offering primarily two. Third option also available that without application. Say we have a SaaS. Other one we have a third one we have IaaS. So if any company wants to use Oracle Fusion applications, the first two options are available from Oracle. These we call as subscription models. Okay, what does it mean by SaaS? SaaS stands for Software as a Service. Let's talk about it first. Okay, let's talk about what does it mean by SaaS. Later we'll see PaaS and IaaS. So if you are a customer, if you want to use Oracle Fusion applications, you can subscribe SaaS. You can take SaaS subscription from Oracle. In that case, you'll get the standard product. Standard product access. So you want to use Oracle Fusion Financials. Okay, you can pay how many applications required and how much duration, say 5 years, how many users, 100 users, which applications, financials, all applications. You can pay some amount as a subscription fee. You don't need to take the license, pay some amount, Oracle will give the access, you can implement and you can start using. So in that case, what Oracle will do is, whatever the product they develop, they will give to us. And you cannot customize it. No customization. No customization means the functionality related customization. Pages. You can call as pages or new features. Here, reports customization is possible. Okay. The reports customizations you can do. And integrations. Integrations, yes, you can do. The Oracle Fusion applications, finance application, any other application, you can connect with other applications. So DBA support from Oracle only. And here auto upgrade. So let me talk about these points. Any questions we'll discuss. So if you are going to be a SaaS customer for Oracle, you will get the product. What product you need, say finance, yes, you will get finance. So you are using the payables application. You need one more page. As per your business, you need one more page that you cannot create in case of SaaS. And you want to create one new report. Oracle will provide the reports for payables, receivables, for each and every application. They'll provide list of reports which generally required by businesses. Apart from that, you need one more report or 10 more reports. Yes, those can be created. New reports, whatever we create, that we call as customization. It could be page creation or report creation. Whatever we create new, that we call as customization. That you can do. New reports you can create. Integrations. You are using Oracle Fusion applications from Oracle company and supply chain applications you are using from other company. So these two applications you want to connect. That we call as integration. Yes, integrations are possible in case of SaaS. And DBA support. We don't need to have any DBA because we don't have our servers. Servers are managed by Oracle. Any DBA related help will be provided by Oracle only. And if Oracle is going to, if you are a SaaS customer, say now you are in 30, release 13 version, release 13. Tomorrow Oracle is going to come up with release 14. So since you are not disturbing the Oracle standard functionality, new pages you are not creating, you are not disturbing the standard product, automatically Oracle will upgrade from the current version to latest version. I mean, whatever the previous version to latest version. It's a one-day task. If you can inform to today Oracle, by tomorrow your environment will be upgraded to latest version. So that auto upgrade is possible in case of SaaS. Let me explain PaaS also so that we can compare and we can discuss any questions. Take it forward. Just let me explain. Let me cover PaaS also so that we can see the difference. PaaS means, okay, platform as a service. As a service. Here, what is the difference? Yes, you will get standard product. Standard product. You can customize the pages here. In case of PaaS, you can customize the pages, you can customize the reports, integrations, you can do DBA support, but no auto upgrade. Oracle is not going to support auto upgrade since you are going to do the customization to the pages also. This is the difference. Okay, now any questions from anyone on this too, please. After this, we'll discuss IaaS also. It's a simple, nothing to discuss. I mean, it's very simple. We'll discuss.
So if you go with the PaaS option, okay,
So you are saying no auto upgrade. So tomorrow Oracle has a different. So today we are on version 13 and say patch 20, and Oracle introduces patch 21 or version 14. So if we are in past, you will always remain in 13 unless you want to change to 14
Correct,
with the.
It would be equal to on-premise, your own server only.
Okay, so PaaS means it's your own server, private cloud?
No, see,
On-prem?
yeah, it would be, PaaS would be equal to on-premise with certain limitations.
Okay.
You can upgrade. You can upgrade. It is not easy. Oracle is not going to do. You have to deploy the team where you have to verify these customizations can be invited by new version or not, where these customizations will impact, etc. You have to do a lot of work. Then you have to do pre-upgrade, post-upgrade activities, etc. But in case of SaaS, since you are not doing any customizations related to product functionality, everything remain as it is, what Oracle is providing. So simply Oracle can upgrade. If you are a past customer, you have an option to customize. Whenever you have to do the customization, then only you go with the PaaS. Otherwise, you have to go with the SaaS only. So
Okay. Now, if I am on a SaaS, that means if every time Oracle upgrade, I need to kind of go and check how it is impacting me.
you no need to go and check impact. Oracle will release the document. What are the changes they did with respect to so and so application and functionality? Those documents you can go through. You can just raise on service request SR to Oracle saying that we want to upgrade to latest. Then if you inform today, by tomorrow they'll upgrade. Since you are not doing the customizations, nothing will get disturbed.
So what about any personalization, user based or something? How it will?
Personalizations after upgrade you have to take care of. Again, you have to verify anything is disturbed because something is changed, or else nothing is changed. It means those are invited as it is. That we have to check as a post upgrade activity. Yeah, that is there.
So in past, the server and the middleware application, everything is at our place, and DBS will be
no. PaaS also Oracle servers only, but in case of SaaS, they don't give any control. In case of PaaS, they'll give the option to create the customizations and to deploy. In both cases, these servers are owned by Oracle only, virtual servers only. Okay. Server is virtual in two cases. If you choose SaaS, no customization you can do. If you choose PaaS, they'll give the provision to do the customization to deploy the same in the same server. Yep. Any other questions, please? Okay. I asked.
So most of the customers today is SaaS, right? Most of the customers.
Yeah.
90.
Correct. Yeah. Almost all the clients are using SaaS only. 95% customers are using SaaS. PaaS only few customers whose business process need to be customized. Okay, those clients are choosing the PaaS. Okay, more than 95 customers. If you see 100 customers, definitely 1 or 2 or 3 customers are PaaS. Rest of all are SaaS only. Now the next point is IaaS. IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. Okay, this is like Amazon Web Services, Amazon AWS. Just you can get space for storage. Okay, storage space. No applications you will get. You can buy the storage space. Within that, any applications you can install, you can use for whatever the purpose you want. It's all about buying the space, not applications. Along with this virtual server, you will get virtual server access where you can store some data or you can install some product. That's totally different. When I talk about applications, these two are applicable. The client can go with the SaaS or PaaS. So as per business requirement, customizations are required. Those clients will go with the PaaS. Otherwise, if no customizations required, so very minimum customizations that they can manage with the workaround and all, if they think, they'll go with the SaaS. Most of the clients are using the SaaS. Okay, most of the clients are using only the difference functionality wise. There won't be any difference between SaaS and PaaS. Functionality remains same, product remains same. Only the flexibility. PaaS will give the flexibility of doing the customizations. Okay, but SaaS doesn't allow to do the customizations. I asked just the storage space, no applications you can find in this. You can install if you want
Only
SAP applications or other Oracle applications or any other applications, or you want to store your documents in that. Yes, you can do that. Anything you can do. The storage space here you will get from Oracle with application. Whether you need customization or no customization, you can decide accordingly. You can choose SaaS or PaaS. So this all comes on the SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, these three different subscriptions from any cloud computing company, not only from Oracle. Any cloud computing company offers these three options: SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. So in case of Oracle, also same applicable. If you are going to use Fusion applications, you will be choosing either SaaS or PaaS. On-premise means you have to maintain your own server, your own team, etc. That's totally challenging, and user performance won't be rich. So ideally, most of the clients they are using EBS product, almost all are on-premise only. So these are the points we have to understand about cloud. This is the meaning of cloud. Now the servers, whatever you get, those are cloud servers. Cloud servers means the servers are big servers are managed by Oracle. With the help of big servers, with the virtualization concept, Oracle will create the virtual servers. Those virtual servers you can access from nearest data centers, where the virtual servers will be replicated in all the nearest data centers as per the client where they are operating the business. So that is the meaning of cloud. Cloud means we will access the servers, which servers? Cloud servers, through nearest data centers. When you say physical servers may reside in the US or UK or some other country, but virtual servers, since they are keeping available in the nearest data centers of client, you can think the servers are almost close to you. Simply you can say, in case of cloud, the servers would be available, internet as a source. Wherever you have internet, you can think your server is available if you are using the cloud server. That's how the cloud computing company will keep available the servers very close to us. This is what we have to understand about cloud. So that means, so when we talk about Oracle Fusion Financial Application, if this Oracle Fusion Financial Applications, if you install in your own server, you call it as Oracle Fusion Financial Applications. Instead of having your own server, if you are using these applications through cloud, simply we call as Oracle Fusion Cloud Financial Applications. Okay, the term makes difference from where you have, how you are accessing, where the product is deployed. You have your own server, call it as Oracle Fusion Financial Applications. You don't have your own server, the servers are provided by Oracle, include term called as cloud. That is the difference between Oracle Fusion Financials Applications and Oracle Fusion Cloud Financial Applications. This is what we have to understand. That's all about our course also. Now, any questions about these points?
So either way, both are web pages, right?
Both are web. Only the difference is where product is deployed, in whose server, how you are accessing. That's only the difference. Product is
what are the,
and features are same.
So web page is one difference as compared to on-premises. What are the other advantages of these web page, cloud?
Cloud advantages, the first point is you don't need to maintain the servers. That's the first point. The second point is you don't need to deploy the team, DBA and technical people. You don't need technical in the sense the network admin, etc. You don't need to deploy. First point is server. You don't need to invest for server infrastructure. That is first. Second point is you don't need to maintain the additional team. That is second point. The third point is, so compare it to on-premise. If you take the license, what you spend, that is very less when you go with the cloud. Okay, subscription fees very less compared to license fee. That is the third point. And since Oracle is going to take care of everything, almost your instance will be up and running. 99.99% it would be up and running. Okay, so these are the key differences. If you want to verify.
And difference between
please go ahead.
Fusion. Yeah, difference between Fusion and EBS.
With respect to financials, there is not much difference. Okay, the finance EBS product they taken as it is. Whatever we have in EBS in the forms, they converted to web pages. They did some enhancements. They added some new functionalities. Okay, that's only the difference. Otherwise, the core functionality remains same. So I could say if you compare with EBS, you will see something as a new max 30%.
Okay. Okay.
The way how we do here or what additionally they added, how we manage of EBS now, how that can be done in the future, max you will see 30% difference. The reporting point of view and conversions, and there are many ways, setups point of view and process remains same. The way how we do that they changed.
Customer creation, invoice creation, debit, suppliers.
Almost there are a few differences, slight differences. Okay, but not difficult. If you know EBS, you have to see at least once how things can be managed in the Fusion, then you will become expert. But even if you have a 10 years of EBS experience, without going through one time the complete configuration process, you cannot work on Fusion.
And in this is 30% difference in supply chain. How much percent is the 30% or 50% for SCM?
In supply chain, they did some changes in the order management and inventory side. The purchasing side, you don't see much difference, but the naming conventions they changed. The terminology, what we use, the terminologies they changed. The setups, what we do, they reclassified the setups and all. That's how. There also you can see 30 to 40% changes. Since inventory side and to OEM side, order management side, they brought some new changes, new things from the other products. You could see 30 to 40% changes. Yep.
After your class, can we take up the Oracle Cloud SCM interview after this class? Lakshmi?
After this class, you can take finance interview. You can just qualify as a finance consultant, not SCM. This training for finance. Okay, it's for finance only, not for SCM, but you will learn basics of SCM also, which will really required when you are working as a finance consultant.
Major flows, order to cash and P2P.
Yeah, P2P and O2C, procure to pay, order O2C. Those we are going to cover. Even those are not part of finance. That's always good to know. It's
right.
Mandatory also.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
If the client wants to maintain his own applications and the security as well as the database, so under cloud, is there an option to maintain that, or what is the best option for the client?
No. If you want to maintain the data, we are getting background noise from you. Please don't mind. Please take care of that. So if the client wants to maintain the database and applications and all, it's all about on-premise. They have to use their own server. In that case, there is no cloud. But still, they want to go with the cloud and they want to use their database and application. In that case, they can go with IaaS. They can buy the storage space. Instead of having their own servers, they can subscribe the cloud space. Within that, they can install the database and applications, etc. This they can use same as on-premise. That is it.
So who will be maintaining that?
Your team should take care of this. If it is IaaS, your
everything
take care of.
Only. So everything means application, data security, and database, and operating systems and other stuff. Everything should be taken by the client.
Client only, yes.
Or
you have to choose which operating system in this, which database, which application, everything. You will get storage space. Instead of buying the server, you are going to use this space. How you use your own server, in the same way, this virtual storage space you can use accordingly. That's it.
Got it. It's independent then.
Yes, correct. Fine. Any other questions?
When are they going to stop selling on premises, Lakshman?
They already started. There are very few clients who are using, and when we talk about the very latest version, they are not offering. Okay, previously they given 11, 12 prior versions also. There are few clients are using, but Oracle is not at all focusing on on-premise. They are focusing on cloud only.
So they're not selling any more on premises, can we say?
They are giving. On-premise
They are
are giving, but the clients are other side, they are not focusing much. There are few clients who are using. Very few. Yep.
Hey, Lakshman, this is Anil Kumar.
Yeah, Anil, please. I request others to go
One
on
more
mute.
doubt.
There is a lot of background noise. I always request to please go on mute. Okay, please go on mute.
Yeah, Lakshman. I ask means only the storage the data means any secure something like is there?
More secured. Okay, it's not like just storing the data. Oracle will take care of the security and all. Okay.
They own security, something access, everything. Only storage the data only.
Yes. How we go with the security when we are managing the same way, but it will be in the Oracle hand. That's all. That's only the difference.
But this one like on-premise and cloud difference. Say
on-premise means your own server. Cloud means Oracle server. That's all.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Lakshman, how IaaS is related to the Fusion, Oracle Fusion apps? I think I can understand Oracle Fusion is related to SaaS and PaaS, it's okay.
It is not related to Oracle. One second. It is not related to Oracle. This is Oracle service. Oracle is providing storage space. They are providing. You can install the Oracle applications in that, or SAP applications, or other applications.
Okay.
Purpose you can.
Okay, it's like general. Only storage they are providing.
Exactly.
Any kind of application you can, but it is the main relation is Oracle.
Yeah. Correct. Exactly.
Written by Oracle. That's it.
Yes, that's all. It's offered by Oracle. That's
all. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Second thing, are they going to for mirroring also?
As you mirroring
you have just mentioned.
That's what
you have just mentioned.
Data centers.
Yeah. As a client, I want to know that because my data is stored in the big server, right? As you mentioned, and those big servers are related with virtual servers.
Correct.
By any means, like for a natural calamity or some fire, something happened in the US big server.
That's completely they'll take care of the responsibility. Yes.
So are they mirroring my big server in some other place also?
Yeah, they'll take care of it. So for this also maintain the backup. This is the source, right? So this also they'll take up the backup. But for that virtual server, they will just do the they clone it or say mirroring with the various data centers based on the data access. Ideally, what happens is India people need access to which data. Accordingly, they will do the clone. Not complete information. Here, US data may not be available since it's India. First time, again, if any user is trying to connect to the server from India for US data, again, that also they'll clone into it.
Cloning is just having a snapshot of the database, what you have in your hand.
In the
what
virtual.
I mean to say that.
In the virtual.
Suppose in a big server, by any means, in big server something happened. Anything. Okay.
Yeah, that server they'll maintain the backup. Okay. The big missions backup also they'll maintain. Yeah, that is there.
Yeah, for example, my main server is in Japan. Big server is in Japan. Okay. As you know, tsunami or some any kind of things have happened. Something happened over there.
The mirroring they'll follow because up to that level we don't need that point. That is the reason we are not addressing here. Okay.
In case, because as a purchaser, I want to know all the ups and downs, loops and everything. So this is the thing. I mean, most of the companies they are asking about how they are maintaining the mirroring. Something happened to the big server. With the mirroring, our database or our functionality will not stop at any second.
Correct. Like, see, in cloud, in case of cloud, every company follow that. That's a basic thing.
Yep,
that's very basic.
Because they are concerned about the data security.
Yeah. That's true.
Because if any big business like Amazon or anything you take, I mean, if the business stops for 1 hour, it may be a loss of thousands of crores. Right?
Correct. That's true.
Exactly. So just to come up with this kind of thing, we have a mirroring so that our business will not stop even for 1 minute.
No. Correct. Every cloud computing company, that's a basic practice that is there. Okay. They do that.
Okay, it's a general question. Just I'm asking one. Second thing is like, for example, I'm running a small business. I'm having some legacy software. I'm using local software.
Okay.
Now I want to go for Oracle Application Cloud. Okay. So what my requirement will be something like I want to go for Oracle AP and a GL. That's it. I don't want any other module.
Yeah,
So
you
in
can
that
do.
case, how Oracle Cloud will help us?
Yeah, you can subscribe only those applications from Oracle. You can integrate those applications with a Fusion integrations. You can integrate. You can
So,
legacy to Fusion.
like I need only GL and AP. That's it. I
Yeah,
don't
you can
want
take
AR.
only
I
the
don't want.
application. Whatever you need, you can subscribe from Oracle. They will give you access. Whether you want to create the transaction within that or you want to integrate and you want to get the data, that could be inflow or outflow. Yes, you can do that. That is possible.
That's good. If I go for GL and AP, will the Oracle provide me the whole software like AR,
No,
HR,
how they will
and the
provide. What you are buying, you can get it.
Okay, only that part, huh?
Only that part. Only GL pay accordingly. You can get it. AP, GL, APR pay accordingly. GL, APR something else. Yes, pay accordingly. That's it.
According to module wise, they will charge.
Exactly. In few other cases, we have a cases you have to buy minimum 2, minimum 3. That sort of conditions we have. But ideally, you can go module wise, application wise.
Because as we know, if we go for P2P, in that P2P, there is some part of HR is also related. Okay, isn't it? And some procurement also.
No. That is
inventory also.
One second. That is shared. When you are using SCM or finance, there is a minimum finance, HCM, HRMS things are required. Those you don't need to buy the license. Those are shared or give the access. Shared access they will provide, even if you don't have license.
Because in P2P, inventory got involved over there.
No, that's what I'm telling you. You don't need to take.
So they will take care of that one, huh?
1 second. So if there is some dependency, the minimum things they will allow to access. That's it. Simple point to understand.
Okay.
Done. Any questions from others, please?
So another advantage.
This is Vijay.
Yeah, Kumar,
Cloud.
Kumar, go ahead.
My question is, when we talk about the different things compared to Oracle Fusion, like Oracle EBS, and they're transformed into Oracle Fusion, can we get to know in later stages the equivalence of the terms? Like if you said that there will be new terms introduced when Oracle Fusion and Oracle Cloud is concerned.
Here are 2 points. If you know EBS, when you go through these classes, you will come to know auto. Okay.
Yeah, that was my question.
For example, in EBS, you have a financial options. And point only two. You have financial options. In same financial option, the Fusion you can see as a common options.
Okay.
But generally, I will just talk about that point also. Okay, just
and
it is applicable.
Second question is
in the EBS now Fusion. This is what we are calling here. Change in EBS we have to do that setup here, not required wherever it is applicable. But there won't be any information related to that.
So second question is for EBS we have we are looking more into the security thing, like the roles, the responsibilities, the users, and here all the things are, as you said, they are wrapped in a different kind of nomenclature, and they're positioned differently. So I assume that will also be you will also be telling us.
See, if you are from EBS background or else no application background, you are very new to this. In 2 cases, you will understand. Because
okay, that's my question.
You see everything from the scratch. If you want to compare, if you have some knowledge on EBS, I will cover first point. If something is missing, you can raise the question.
Great.
Yeah, Lakshman, this is Anil Kumar.
Yeah, Anil Kumar.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, this 2012 release 12 and this Fusion, any functionalities like data access sets, something class validation rules, both are same or any difference in there?
You're comparing with the EBS or within the Fusion?
Yeah, EBS, like
same functionality we have. Okay, secured rules, cross validation rules, data access set, ledger set, reporting ledgers, secondary ledgers, consolidation, same story.
Okay.
But there are different.
There is a
EBS secured rules works at segment level, but in the Fusion secured rules works at value set level. That's how there are some changes.
Okay.
Again, when you do the setups, whatever you do in EBS here not required. Whatever you don't do in EBS here it is required. That's how there are changes. One time you have to go through, then it would be more clear. You can feel you got experience. That's just information.
Okay, Lakshman.
Yeah.
Lakshman, if you don't
Lakshman,
mind, just that application issue is there, just that resolve.
Yeah, sure. I just taken the note. Okay, I taken the note. You are in.
Yeah, okay, Lakshman. Actually,
You are in touch with whom?
sorry, Lakshman.
You are in touch with whom from team?
Hi, Satish Reddy.
Satish. Okay, I'll just look after this. Okay, after I complete
Okay.
within 10 minutes, your issue will be resolved.
Okay, Satish.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Yeah, any
Okay, thank
Yeah,
please.
yeah, Lakshman, this is Nag.
Yeah, Nag, please.
Yeah. Regarding the integrations,
Yeah.
in SaaS model, can we connect our system with Kronos? Do we need any license, other license?
No, see, when you talk about integrations, it could be SaaS or PaaS. Any third-party application you can integrate. We have a different options. With the SOVA you can do. We have ICS, integrated cloud service, integration cloud services. We have different options. We have that totally depends on whether what data and how much volume of the data, whether that is kind of what I can say batch process or online synchronization. Based on that, the technical people will suggest the best option. Accordingly, you can integrate any third-party application. You don't need to name it. Any third-party application you can integrate with a Fusion. It could be SaaS or PaaS.
Okay, that is free. No other required license fee.
No. Based on integrations, you don't need to pay anything.
So what is OIC then?
Technical people or Oracle Integration Cloud Services, OIC.
So you do integration through OIC only, yes?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
OIC separate.
That is one of the best option. There, it's almost drag and drop, very minimal coding. That's how you can manage the integrations.
So if I don't want to use OIC, can I still connect to my external?
You have many options. See, we have a inbuilt connectors. We have a web services. Okay, there are many options. But totally, you have to look into what data, which system, what is the volume, and what is the frequency. These all need to be analyzed. Then you can choose which is the best. That you can just take that technical people can suggest us which option would to go.
So if I go with web service, which is open source, then it's no cost.
Yeah, anything. Just only you have to spend for technical resource. That's all.
Okay.
Oracle is not charging for that.
So if they have on-premises, do they have to re-implement, or is there a transformation to cloud?
No. It could be cloud or on-premise. Anything you have to do as a re-implementation. There is no upgrade option as of now.
Oh, so in most cases, then existing guys will stick on to that, and new people may go for cloud, right?
Correct. That's true.
Lakshman, so we cannot run queries here how we used to do in EBS.
We can run. I'm going to cover in our classes also. I just give it those that point also. We can write the SQL queries.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thanks.
So other advantage is that in cloud, people can go put the URL and log in anywhere in the world. Anytime,
exactly.
Right?
From any device. No additional plugins, add-ons not required. From your
I think that is a
connect, you can log in and you can do any task.
And it's an open source. You just need a password, and put the URL, and you're into the application. Unlike
correct.
You had to download Java and all that nuisance used to be there.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Hey Lakshman, this is Sriram.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, Sriram.
Okay, so first between SaaS and PaaS, right? So for financials, what could be the reasons, like you have seen in your experience, where the companies have or the clients have gone for PaaS instead of SaaS?
Only one reason. As per their business, if customizations are required, see 100% business, the process is not mapped. When we map with the standard product, if there are some gaps where solutions are not available, in that case we have to build the solution. That is only the case where the client will choose the PaaS.
Okay, so like I have to maintain some
PaaS,
custom
most of
tables.
very big clients only will go with the PaaS. Small and mid-size, almost all are going with the SaaS only. Very big clients.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking is, let's say you have an invoice, right? Like you like a purchase order you have to print, right? Or an AR invoice you have to print.
Yeah.
Like you might need your company logos or
Oh, no. One second.
file.
Those are simple things. Those you can do. It's a simple task. That Oracle is allowing. You can go and insert the logo. Okay. You can change the formats. You can altogether. You can create new reports also. That is possible. Okay. Those
Okay,
just simple things. Okay.
got it.
Say for example, as per Oracle payables application, the invoice creation and payment process is involved in the 2 steps. As per your organization, it has to be involved in the 4 steps. Some validation, verification, this and that. For that, okay, you can put some additional steps called as approval, etc. But beyond that, you need some additional requirement where the data again need to be taken into other page, and there you have to perform some actions on that. Then it has to move to the payables payment process, etc. So in these cases, you may want to develop the intermediate forms between the invoice and the payment process. So those are the cases where you can go with this to build those new pages and to drive the process with the various page which are connected in the process. Something like that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks.
Lakshman,
Lakshman.
can we get this EBS videos also, so that R12, so that we can refer it and compare with Fusion?
No. I think if you need any around, I think our team is providing around 15 videos where it covers 25 hours. That is for free. If you need entire course, it's around 120 hours classes. I think you have to subscribe it.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Okay. No problem. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
So coming to this cloud.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So coming to this cloud.
Hmm.
So which is famous, like SCM or financial?
See, not only in the cloud, generally if you take EBS or any other ERP also, always finance is famous. You could see good demand in the market for finance. After finance, SCM takes second place. Not only cloud, not only Oracle or SAP, take any ERP products. Finance is the primary because that's a backbone for every company. They may go with this SCM, HCM, etc., but definitely most of the companies will go with the finance. Finance is always the demand.
Is it double the opportunities or maybe 4 times?
I mean, double the opportunity means what you are comparing. With what?
If there are 10
openings.
10 openings on SCM, there are 30.
Hardly in the market, if you see like, if you check in the job portal right away, if you see 10 positions, 10 openings are there for financials. For SCM, you will see 2-3 generally. Okay, so that's how you can get. If you look at other applications, other areas, if you see PPM, when you have a 10 openings for finance, for PPM there may be 1, CRM maybe 1 or 2, HCM 2-3. Okay, next, almost to the openings you could see in the market, similar opening for HCM and SCM. Because HCM they released into market for many years back, 7-8 years back, so that very much stabilized. Already many clients are using. When you talk about this Fusion Financials as a part of finance from last, I could say from last 2 years, the product is very much stabilized. But clients started using from 2016, where most of the few clients started with release 7. But it was not much stabilized at that time. But a few companies started using from release 7, then 8, 9, 10. From 12 onwards, so many clients started implementing this. Since in 12 itself it's stabilized, in 13, yes, it's a complete product, you could say. Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Lakshman, this is Shahid Ridwan with you. How the Fusion supports the customized module?
How Fusion supports?
Customized modules. Suppose in my company there is a module.
One second.
Yeah.
By using this customization, you can build some page or you can create new custom application also, custom module also. That's it. You have to do everything within the application. If you want to integrate that applications with the Fusion, anyway, you can use integration. That's it. Other point.
Previously, I have my company has been using this one customized model, that is letter of credits. Okay. So
Any
it is having,
application, see, point is, it is customized or standard, doesn't matter. When it comes to
okay.
Fusion integrations, that is third party. So customized or it's some company developed, okay, built, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
there's a customized model in Oracle Forms. It is running.
Yeah, whatever it may be,
Because
it is third party.
it is on the form.
Whatever it may be, it is third party. You can integrate. Oracle supports. That's all. Yep.
Now my question is like my customized module, which is working on
Okay.
forms, developer forms on that one. Now I want to, if I want to make it a web page, right? Because forms are not, this is not supporting by the forms. Only web pages are supporting. So can the Oracle convert me all these forms to the web pages, or I have to design my own? I can design my web page.
That's what. That is the reason I said you have to treat as a that is third party, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, hi Lakshman.
Yeah, Manoj, please.
Yeah, so as a part of this training, are we going to cover the security model related to the cloud ERP? Like
Yeah. That is very much important. We will see complete thing like how to the roles, how to create the custom roles when you do the implementation, right? We have to create the custom roles as per business. How to copy, how to edit, how to compare. Everything will go through. How to simulate. Everything we'll see.
Yeah, and just one question was also are we going to cover the data access, because I believe that is a bit different in financials as compared to SCM, right?
We are going
data
to
access
cover
part.
data conversions, master data, transactional data. We will execute in our classes completely.
Yeah.
Hi,
Lakshman.
How to load the customers, how to load the open transaction invoices. You know, in EBS, this should be done by technical people. We cannot do. We have to help them to collect the data with the templates. But in the Fusion, Oracle is providing the templates. We can download the templates that we can give to business. Once we collect the data, converting into CSV, populating the data interface, importing into base tables, and if any issues, working on that issues, the process completely they converted into functional. Now to do the data conversions, technical people is not at all required. That is the reason most of the technical people are converting to functional with respect to Fusion. Okay, the EBS technical guys are moving to functional if they have a plan of working on Fusion. That is completely fine.
Yeah, Lakshman, one more dot.
Became functional, we are going to work on it.
Yeah, Lakshman, one doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, technical means like which part like we have idea about that.
Yeah, in Fusion, if you say technical, BI reports. Okay, the second
BA report.
Yeah, BI reports. BI developer.
BI reports.
BIP, Business Intelligence Publisher reports. Yeah, simply you can say BI reports.
Okay.
The second one
BI
is
reports. Okay.
Yeah, ADF pages. ADF pages.
ADF.
Yeah, ADF. The third one is OIC, Oracle Integration Cloud Services. The fourth, still, if you are interested, you can learn SOA, Service Oriented Architecture. These are the four areas. Okay, but if you are going to work for PaaS client, then only you have to learn ADF. Otherwise, BI and OIC and SOA. That is enough.
Hello, Lakshman.
Okay.
Hi, Lakshman.
Yeah, Raghavendra, please.
How many modules are there in this financial Fusion? And also, how many modules we are going to learn?
See, core,
like accounts payable.
Core are 5. Core 5 we are going to cover. Along with that, Fusion tax and Fusion expense. These two also we are going to cover. Apart from this, finance, inventory, purchasing, order management, those are related to SCM. If you want to see more detailed level, you can look into the course curriculum. You can go through course curriculum. Still, if you have any questions, yes, we can discuss.
Yeah, sure.
These are the points. Fine. I given the course curriculum, but I will be adding few other concepts also. Okay. More than course.
Hello.
Yeah, please, Hari.
Yes, Lakshman sir.
Yeah, please.
Hello, myself Hari Prasad. So, can we cover treasury management also in this part of
No
training?
treasury and other applications, sorry. Just only this core finance applications.
Okay, okay. We can cover the AME modules as well, right? Like for requisition
Yeah,
and AP
AME we are
approval.
covering. AME in Fusion we call as BPM. Okay. The name
Okay.
change. We are going to cover to touch that requisition approval, purchase order approvals, invoice approvals, journal approval. All we are going to test in our classes. Yes, the AME in Fusion we call as BPM, Business Process Management. AME approval management engine as the previous, but in the Fusion that is BPM. We are going to cover.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions?
Lakshman, one more. Lakshman, one more question.
Yeah.
After completing this course, will you provide us placement assistance?
No. That we are not into. Okay, see, simple. Learn product properly. Now there is good demand in the market.
Okay.
You can we can help you to help you to get the CV if you want. Okay, and we can have a session to discuss about how to prepare for interviews, etc., etc. We can have a session on that if required.
Okay.
Interview questions, etc. And if you want to go for certification, okay, for that also we will give you the help where you can get certified.
Okay.
Just
suppose
easily you can get the calls if it is a cloud finance.
Okay.
Fine.
Lakshman?
Yeah, Lakshman, one more doubt. Like now it is a EBS market. Is there good like Fusion Cloud is there?
Fusion only. EBS, there are plenty of people in the market because of some issues. They are moving to Fusion also.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
So once the course is completed, if we are doing job trials, if we face any issues for answering these questions, if we don't know how to answer those questions, can you help us?
Attend interview if any, just say one call we want to have for 30 minutes or just 1 hour. You attended a few interviews and you got some doubts, some clarification required, etc. Yes, you can keep in touch with the team and they'll connect and we can schedule the call and we can connect. That we are ready.
Hi, Lakshman.
Yeah.
There is some specific question about it's a general question actually. Can you throw some light on this certification?
Okay.
Fusion certification.
Yeah, one second. Let me talk about that offline. Let me stop the recording.